Okay, today and tomorrow we are officialing and unveilinating. Yeah, I've been listening to the Bush thing. We've been officially unveiling our new lineup and our new website, airamerica.com, and we've asked people to come on and give interviews to us and discuss various aspects of their life. And so last week I talked to Gloria Steinem.
Hi.
Hi, is it okay to call you Gloria?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please, I don't know how to respond to the Miss Steinem thing.
Well, you can call me Miss Rhodes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's really an honor to speak to you, really. I never thought in my whole life I'd have a chance to talk to you.
How can that be? I mean,
don't
we're just
know.
blocks apart.
My mom was one of your biggest fans, caused major contretemps in my household, right down to the huge sunglasses.
That's great.
Yeah, so you've really helped raise me in a very interesting way. Well, I just wanted to talk to you. I know your issues lately have been really seriously important, human trafficking, but I just thought, because we don't have much time, I wanted to ask you broader questions.
Okay.
Like, what is the ideal woman for the 21st century? And by that I mean, what should she know about inequality, social inequality, political and economic?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, there is no ideal woman. The ideal woman is the one who's able to be uniquely herself, which is a unique person who combines millennia of environment and heredity in some unique way. You know, there's a person inside every baby, right? So we're trying to nurture those talents. But it's interesting that you say, what should she know? Because I do think that it's very important that she understand that there have been a lot of years of patriarchy, and that's very much in the culture and very, very hard to escape. And also that is not different from, it's part of the systems of racism and sexism and heterosexuality and so on, because the way women got in this jam in the first place was to be controlled or restricted or owned as the means of reproduction. So the same groups that say we want to control reproduction and it should all go into, all sexuality should go into reproduction, are trying to declare that gay and lesbian movements, which stand for the fact that human sexuality is not all about reproduction, they're against them, and certainly you have to control reproduction to maintain racism. So that, it's a kind of a long answer, but I just think... Well,
no, I like it. I like long answers because it's really more of a conversation than an answer.
Well, I think she needs to have in balance her own unique self and the shared problems that she is in, inequalities that she's part of solving.
Well, I'm intrigued by the racism. I mean, obviously I get the social and political, because obviously this is a patriarchal society, socially, women traditionally make lots less money than men for the same job. Some people say it's because we don't negotiate, we don't think we have the right to.
Well, but that's not the half of it. The rest of it is that we do most of the work of caregiving and nurturing for no money at all. Mm-hmm. So we're not only underpaid, we're not paid at all for most of what we do.
But I don't the racism tie-in. How does that?
Well, in order, I just mean in a deep, long-term sense. In order to maintain a racist structure, you have to maintain a certain degree of visible difference, and that means you have to control who marries whom, or who has children with whom.
Ah, I see.
So, it's why, whether it's the South of the United States or it's Hitler's Germany or whatever, the ideology of racism and the ideology of controlling women goes together. Does that make sense? I mean, you can't, if, for instance, in the South, the most punished crime was not murder or theft, it was miscegenation. It was the taking over of the means of reproduction of the white race by a man of color, even out of love and free choice.
Right, yeah.
Because that would eventually mean that the white race and therefore racism itself and the supposed superiority of the white race would disappear in the long run.
That's so fascinating. I've never thought of that. And I've had lots of thoughts. But that's a great one.
Well, I think it's just so present that we don't look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but in fact, even if we aren't conscious of it, the truth of the matter is that the suffragist movement came out of the abolitionist movement, and the feminist movement came out of the civil rights movement. I mean, and the gay and lesbian movement. These movements all come together because our enemies are all the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pasty white men who are afraid of extinction. Yeah, I get it. I really do. It's just, it's funny because the people have asked me, what do we do about racism? And kind of flippantly, but seriously too, I've said interbreed. And I see how you got where you got from my question, and I think it's just.
Yeah, I mean, we all have the same ancestors in southern Africa, the Kwe, the San, the so-called bush people. They're the ancestors of all of us.
Isn't that ironic?
Race is just an adaptation to climate, as we distributed ourselves around the world.
Right. Well, let me ask you then: what do young women, need to learn?
Probably first they need to unlearn. That is, to unlearn the idea of feminine and masculine, or the shoulds of life, or, that they alone need to wonder how to combine career and family when men don't. And, we probably have a lot to unlearn.
And what do you think men need to learn?
To unlearn this too, and perhaps also because they probably have even fewer role models than women do of men who are whole human beings, not trying to prove their masculinity, which is only a very few human qualities, but actually exploring their whole human selves. So they may have even more to unlearn.
The word feminism's been rejected by, people for quite some. Even Virginia Woolf rejected it. She preferred humanist, but she didn't do it in a negative way. She was afraid of misogyny, the hatred of women. She was afraid of misandry or misandry. Some people, are grammarians. But, this word has been abused so often by, people in my line of work, the feminazi thing with Rush Limbaugh. Why are they so intimidated by women understanding that they are equal to men in every way, that we're entitled to the same social privileges, the same political leadership, the same economic freedom? Why is that a reason to call you I don't even get the relationship between Nazi and
No, well, that is especially, it's not only offensive, it's ahistorical, because Hitler, the first thing he did when he came to power was to close the family planning clinics and declare abortion a crime against the state. I mean, he came to power against the feminist movement between the wars in Germany, which was